Now, XLOOKUP is a powerful new function added to Excel in late 2019 and designed to replace VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Let's say we want to look up the name John in this table and return a value from the February column. You can use XLOOKUP, and the first parameter is lookup value, which is going to be John. The array that we're going to look up John's name is in this area right here. We want to return values from the February list. That's the February column. And that's all you need to do is return 17,232, which is the intersection of John and February. Now, one of the benefits of XLOOKUP is it does horizontal lookups as well. So let's say we want to look up February in this list, but we are going to return the value from John's row. And it found the same number, 17,232, in the February column next to John. So it does both vertical and horizontal lookups. Be sure to check out my XLOOKUP dedicated video if you want more details on some of the other powerful features in XLOOKUP. So our next is the filter list. If you want an easy way to manage a large data set, click anywhere inside the table, go to the data tab and click on this filter icon, and it creates a filter at the top of each column in your table. Now, you can select one and choose from the list the values that you want to see. It filters that data out. Now you can use multiple columns and filter out just the data you want to see. It's a great way to manage large lists of data. So the next one is ideas. Now, if you're looking for suggestions on how to best display your Excel data, you can go to the ideas for inspiration. Just click anywhere inside of a table, go to the home tab and choose ideas. This brings up a list of graphs and charts based on that data. You can hit the plus button to add them to your spreadsheet. You can even choose which field interests you the most. And in this example, let's change some to an average and update those tables. I hit the plus here on the units by region. It creates a new tab and adds the data from that chart into your spreadsheet, reflecting the average of the unit. Ideas is great at suggesting the data that matters the most. The next one is remove blanks. If you want to remove a bunch of empty cells in a set of data, just highlight that whole list, go to the home tab and choose find and select from the menu. Choose go to special and check the box for blanks. Hit OK. It's now highlighted all the blank cells in my data set. Just right click on any one of them, choose delete and choose shift cell left. Hit OK. It just clean up that data list. The next one we're looking at is quick analysis tool. When you highlight a table in your spreadsheet, in the bottom right corner, there's an icon. This is the quick analysis tool. When you click on that icon, it brings up a wealth of information you can select from. You can pick sums of the columns, sums of the rows, getting a running total or percentage. You can select charts and insert them into your spreadsheet. You can set the formatting that you have so that you have your data bars that represents the values, or you can change the color scheme for the value set. Have visual representation of your data as an icon. Mark the top 10%. You can add spark lines that shows you a mini line graph of your data. There's so much available here without having to go through the menus to manually create each one of these items. So look for that icon in the bottom right corner of any of your tables. The next one is auto fill column wide. This is by far the best way to adjust the weight of your columns. Just go to the space in between any columns until your cursor changes and double click. It will automatically readjust the size of your column to fit the widest point of your data anywhere in that entire column. You can also highlight multiple columns, double click on any one of them, and it will do multiple columns at the same time. The next one we're looking at is the absolute cell reference. Excel uses two types of references. There's the relative and absolute. or a mixture of the two. As you can see in these cells, B4 and C1 is the cost times the distance. These are both related, just referring to a certain location to the left or up 3 rows. And if we were to copy these formulas down, you will get errors because each one is still referring to the one to the left and the one 3 above. So in this case, it gives an error because it's trying to use row 3, so that we want to use instead is an absolute reference. We want C1 to be fixed to this. Yeah, fixed to this location for all the rows. This way, the way to do this is to highlight that and hit F4. Toggle between the different relative and absolute cell referencing. Now you can lock the column, the row, or both, and in this case, we are going to keep it locked to C1. Now, when I copy it down, it does the correct formulas for each one, always referencing the absolute reference of C1. Anytime you plan to copy formulas, make sure you set the relative or absolute referencing appropriately. Now, next one is per spatial values. Sometimes you want to eliminate formulas and copy just the data from the cells. In this example, I have a first and last name combined using a formula. I want to highlight this, right click, choose copy and paste it, but using a formula I want to highlight. I want to paste just the values, not the formula. So if I right click, choose paste spatial, check this box for values and hit OK. Now you can see it just has the values and not the original formulas. You'll be surprised at how often you need to use this type of function because you want just data and not formulas. So make sure to use special values. Next is the drop down list. Let's say you have a region north, south, east, and west, and you want them to be selectable anywhere in this list. Just highlight the rows that you want. Selectable, go to the data set, choose data validations. From this list, change this list to list. Make sure this checkbox for insert drop down is checked, and for the source you want to choose your options available in the list, which is going to be this four. Click OK, and now in each of these rows you have an arrow that you can choose from that list. You can still type in data, but if you try to enter it, it gives you an error because that value doesn't match the value, the data validation list that you created. You can go back to the list, you can change the input message prompting you to enter the data, and you can also edit and create an error alert whenever you type data that doesn't validate. So if you want to make it easy to select data from a list and validate it, use the drop down list. The next one is filter. Now, filter is a dynamic array function added to Excel in 2020. One of the challenges with XLOOKUP and other lookup functions is that they can't return multiple values from a list, but filter does. This is how it works. Let's say we want to find a region sales result from this list. You can use filter function by providing it an array, which is going to be this entire list, and what we want to include is anything in the region that equals east, and it's that simple. It returns all the region east reps, product, and unit. The filter function spills the result over into multiple rows and columns based on what it finds. And if you look at any individual one, you can see that the formula is the same in all of them, but it originates from the upper left corner. You can even get more complex with the filter by taking the region and multiplying it by the rep. Equaling your selected rep, and now we have the combination of both where the region and the rep match. Filter is a powerful new dynamic array function that solves many issues. Thanks for watching. Watch us for the next video on Excel tricks and tips.